It's live now. Hello, good evening. It's 8 o'clock on Friday night, and it's, of course, time for Transformers the Show.
I live my life walking down the street, meet the faces of the people I see. All the time I see a reflection, all the time I see a reflection. It's okay to feel alone, it's okay to be alone. All the time I see a reflection, all the time I see a reflection. 'Cause when I'm with you, it seems so easy, seems so easy. My best days are with you, they are so easy, they are so easy.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to the show. On tonight's show, fuck, almost pulled my earphones out there. On tonight's show,
stuff.
we've got a discussion. Well, we've got Dave Wallace first of all from TFN.
Yes.
Hello, David. Thanks for
I
coming.
was going
on,
to
mate.
say, you were going to have a discussion about Dave Wallace. All right. fair enough.
It's about
just
time we
gonna
did.
chat about- and you're not allowed to talk during that whole discussion. You have to stay silent whilst we talk.
More of an
about you.
intervention, Dave.
You can stare at us though.
Stop him from drinking this Sprite. Like, turns him into a monster.
Alexis is on his way. Jamie can't be with us tonight. Alexis, not sure what state he'll turn up. He's been playing cricket all day, which I think is posh people's term for going to the pub, drinking beers whilst someone else looks after your kids. So we'll see how he turns out. There's loads of news to go through. Well, not loads, a medium amount of news.
Yeah.
We've got a review, Autobot Silverstreak. I'm going to be doing that from Buzzworthy. We've got Rohans Corner as well. Fuck, I need to download. So we'll do that subtly at some point. But so, and we might be guessing the third-party news because Alexa's in here. Right, Andy,
We'll
are
make
you
it up
ready?
as we go along.
Because the other
I
week I
am.
just went straight into news without even asking if you were
I
ready.
know, you caught me unawares. I hadn't even shared
News.
it.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
News jumped you.
I had you. I knew you.
You
was
were
gonna-
ready.
Right, so the first thing is just a little final reminder that we've got 2 weeks till we will be at TF Con, and I know quite a lot of people who watch are going along to that, which will be really exciting, especially for us, because, you know, it's us doing something at a con that already
This
sounds
is us.
ridiculous, because it is. I don't... Bottom of the bill, I don't care. On the bill, it's just really exciting. But if you haven't got tickets, I think there's a few tickets left. Is there? Paul?
8,
Yeah.
I think, left.
Well, that's not bad, you know. So you could come along if you can. See Ben's Collectible, see Thew, Simon Thurman, Jeff Senior, Bobby Skullface, hopefully through a video link, I believe, and
Correct.
us, and whoever scheduled us to be doing our show last thing in the evening. Thanks.
After
for that.
Alexis has been drinking all
Yeah.
day.
That's not going to go particularly well, I already assure you. But yes, tickets available, and I'm sure, Paul, have you got the ticker thing, just in case anybody hasn't already got them?
Yeah,
There we go. So yeah, if you fancy coming along to another con, a little smaller one, but still another con, then you are more than welcome to come and join us. And then we go into the news. We'll start with the mainline news. So a lot of people surprised that Smiths all of a sudden had Legacy Sandstorm, Buzzsaw, and is it Nightprowler, I think the other one, that have just appeared randomly. They're not on the website for Smiths, but they've appeared randomly in the stores for you to pick up. And lots of people have been doing that. So, yeah, if you want them, repaints or not, they are there and available. So check your local Smiths. Don't bother checking the website at the moment unless they've suddenly updated it, because it didn't really say. But yes,
And
they
they're
will
two
be
of my
on about.
favourite all modes, I think, when I looked at the photos. Buzzsaw and, is it Scorpionok?
The Scorpio, yeah.
Sandstorm,
it's the-
sorry.
Sandstorm is, yeah, but it's based off the Scorponok mold, isn't it? I think that's correct. I mean, obviously, Dave knows our huge Beast Wars knowledge, so that he knows he
He's
doesn't.
seen that silent.
It's just
I'm just looking at his
time,
face.
man. Like,
Is
I said
Buzzsaw,
Buzzsaw.
like, was he actually in Beast Wars though, or was he like a character that came along via some other media rather than the cartoon?
no, I mean that's the thing with Beast Wars is, like, you know, Beast Wars was a giant, huge toy line and what, like 5% of the total line ended up in the show. You know, like
which I knew. Obviously, Dave.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, like genuinely, like, is the entire cast of the Beast Wars cartoon less than 20 characters? Probably. Like,
I always thought it expanded a bit more as you went through the is it second and third series?
I mean,
There was more than one series. I'm joking. I like Beast Wars. I'm not.
You know, like what is it, like season 2. Like, it was more the fact that the characters just kept getting new modes more than anything else. You know, you went through Transmetal and Transmetal 2. But in terms of new characters, no, I mean, they got rid of more season 1 characters than they introduced in season 2.
Right.
You know?
Okay, well, I mean, that's...
So, you know.
RFI, there is no beastie hate here. We're not hating on the beasties at all. I actually quite like the look of Buzzsaw. And apparently we're taking the kids to Smith's over the weekend, so I will be keeping my beady little eyes open.
You should do that. You should also go to you should go to Alan Partridge. I think he's on Newcastle on the 3rd.
That's obviously also an option as well. Now, did we decide this is called Twin Twist? Do we know? I can't remember if we've had any kind of official confirmation on this, but this is the recolored version that was leaked. And I remember when the picture was first leaked, and I think it was without the head, and people were saying, well, is this a real thing, or somebody tried to make a custom? And it turns out it is a real figure that's coming out. So it's coming out in the old Diaclone colors. And yeah, I don't know. I quite like it.
It just reminds me of the jump starters, the fake ones you used to get from, it might be Mattel, which where it was just the 2 legs. It was really plasticky. It came out during the 80s. I'll try and find a picture and I'll show it later, but it's the same colours.
I'm sure they will have been some kind of knockoff version as well. And somebody was saying that they looked like it would be quite useful if you wanted to make a custom Orion Pax because of the colours of it. But not being a customizer myself. But I mean, Topspin was such a pain in the ass to get, wasn't he? Sorry, Twin Twist, was the pain in the ass to get. Topspin was a little bit easier, but still. So for a lot of people, this will probably be their first chance to actually get hold of this mold without paying through the nose for it. I think they still go for about 50 or 60, maybe even more on the secondary market. Would you be looking to pick this up, do you think, Dave?
No, you know what? Like, I don't think so. Like, it's cool and all of that stuff, but yeah, it's not for me. I mean,
it has nice. The Wreckers badge, doesn't it? I think I'm correct in saying that.
No, that's the yeah, definitely the Wreckers badge. Yeah, but so was this? Correct me if I'm wrong, but and obviously I'm sure there's a lot more people know the toys than I do. But was this the Diaclone colors, or was this not one of these weird Mexican or South American?
Yeah, I thought about that because I remember seeing like a Mexican variant of the old Jumpstarter toys that was done in these random colors, and I'm sure we've seen a third-party company create versions of that. But then when these pictures came out, there was loads of people I saw online that were saying it's Diaclone colors. And
because I'm thinking like Topspin and Twin Twist came out in what, 87? Like late 86, late 87. So Diaclone's done long. You know, all of these stuff are created after Diaclone. Or maybe I'm wrong.
Deluxe Baldwin is saying this is Diaclone.
It could be, because there was those weird late 80, like 85, 86 figures and stuff like that.
That's what I was.
I think they were still dipping back into some of the Diaclone stuff, weren't they? Because I mean, I suppose Ultra Magnus, strictly speaking, is a Diaclone figure that they then repainted, and obviously, you know, we ended up with the Ultra Magnus we know and love. But anyway, there he is with some of the other repaint boys. Looking all right if you like your repaints. And I think it's a nice figure. I think that a lot of people will be after this. It just depends how easily available it is. And we shall see on that one. And of course, he comes with his little headmaster. Sorry, Titan Master. It's a bloody headmaster. We all know it, Hasbro.
Oh, Diaclone partner.
The Diaclone partner, yes, that'll do. Diaclone pilot. And that's the original. There they are. So, yeah. So those pictures were from Sheffertron, just to be clear as well. I'm sure it was Sheffertron. who had got hold of this figure first and obviously done a little bit of a review, which those stills are from. Then we had this. Now, Dave.
Yes.
So what exactly am I looking at with these colors? Because my understanding is this is the original colors for...
Yeah, let's just say there was some, artistic license between the figures and the actual cartoon animations.
Right.
Basically a lot of heads got changed, and the whole mutant gimmick thing got changed, and the flesh colored, really creepy Dinobot.
It's like a plucked chicken.
Changed.
It's just
his penis or
deeply disturbing.
It really is. It really is. Yeah.
But this has been leaked, hasn't it? I mean, we always say this though. This has just been leaked. It's not been confirmed. And then, like a week later, it's being reviewed by certain YouTube reviewers, and it's like, oh, it's real then. But yeah, I don't know what to say really. I'm just wondering if anybody who wasn't a fan of this figure would see this and go, now I want to pick it up. That's what I was wanting for, that disturbing colouring.
I guess Hasbro's got a real awkward, isn't a bit of an awkward position, isn't it, with the Beast Wars toys, because you can't really reuse them as much as other figures.
No.
And you need to get that value out of your mold and stuff. So just bang out the
whatever
toy accurate colors, despite how unnerving it really is.
It really is, though. It's really quite scary. I actually quite like the head sculpt, though. I mean, I think the head sculpt looks quite interesting. It's got quite an evil look to it. But then I see the rest of it.
Is that not the Grimlock head sculpt?
Yes, it is. Yeah, or at least I think it is. It's the one from the other version of Grimlock that we've already had. That I think came with, was it Sideswipe or someone like that? Anyway,
it was the one that I didn't get. Who was that with? Mirage.
Mirage. You're right. It was Mirage. Yeah. I knew it was one of the two. I took a shot. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. Happy days.
Oh, I found the picture of the knockoff. I thought that Jumpstar was. Do you remember him?
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh, I vaguely remember that.
I'm pretty sure some kid at school probably had that.
It's me.
Didn't even know you went to the same school.
My parents were good. They did buy a lot of official stuff and a lot of what you could only be said as imitation Transformers.
I got GoBots, so I was so disappointed. Anyway,
I would not have been friends with either of you two at school.
David, actually,
genuine, proper Transformer snob. It's always one of those things.
Well, so was I, but they still bought them for me.
I've got this new Transformer. That's not a Transformer.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Actually, I think you'll find that's not an official Transformer.
Where's the rub sign? Be gone.
It's literally the same now when people come up and go, do you like the Optimus Prime? Is that an official Hasbro licensed product? No, it's third party.
Anyway, speaking of third-party products, here's an add-on kit for the recently released Legacy Prime RC. Looks all right. I mean, I quite like the idea of it. I kind of feel like it would have been nice if Hasbro had actually done it themselves, but And this is where I do wish Alexis was here, because he'd know exactly which company made this. But it has been shared by Dame Chock, so if you've followed Dame Chock on Facebook and you have a look on his page, I'm sure you'll find this, and it'll have the details on there. But yeah, it looks pretty good. That
really does spice that mold up just a little.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
And it gives it more of that prime feel from the cartoon. But yeah. And then it transforms into whatever that is, which is lovely.
It's got a quality dainty seat.
And then we had this reveal. So this is the Toy Colors version of Kingdom Cyclonus, which comes with a sticker sheet. So you don't have to apply the stickers. So some people were like, oh, well, I don't know if I want... And, you can just get it, so it's just completely clear. Oh, that would be weird to me. That would be like when you see a really old one where the stickers have all peeled off. I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. But anyway, there is a sticker sheet that comes with it. And it does seem to come with a few bits and pieces. A box, obviously, because, why wouldn't it? So Legacy Selects. I'm sure he comes with his Target Master partner. Was it Nightstick?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
There we are. I knew there was a photo that had him both. And I'm not going to lie. I prefer that colouring to the Kingdom version. I mean, the Kingdom version is brilliant. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I'm looking at that one and I'm thinking I'd trade it out in a heartbeat. If somebody said, here, you can have this one instead. Yep. Here you go. There's the box.
And also, I've been hearing people talk, and I don't know if this is actually true or not, but if it is, it's genius. The very fact that they give you a Decepticon logo to stick on top of what is already a molded Decepticon logo.
Brilliant. I love the it just really does evoke the figure. I've got 2 G1 Cyclonuses. I got one that I had since childhood, which is a bit beat up, to be fair, and one once when we were on a family holiday in, of all places, Scarborough, and we found in this little kind of cellar arcade thing with shops, there was a vintage toy shop place in there, and they had a G1 Cyclonus in box for 50 quid. And my wife bought it for me, and that one's in much better condition than my original one was. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to get this. I have the feeling the need.
The paint job on the original version, the Kingdom version, I didn't love loads, so it's kind of nice to see a different version. Ultra Marcus said, "Now this was a bombshell when I first saw it," which is ironic because he's actually Skywalker.
Yeah, so... isn't that weird? Isn't that weird, Marcus? Crazy
irony there.
Anyway, so there it is. Big news, and not the last we'll see of Cyclonus today. Not just because he's on the next picture, but also because there's more news about Cyclonus. Wow, I didn't realize how many photos I did download of this. I really do like it. Then we had this, which is supposedly a leak of the Studio Series Sideways Transformer from Revenge of the Fallen, I think. He wasn't in it for very long, was he? He was in it right at the start. He runs away from the Autobots and then gets
killed. Yeah,
he gets sliced in half by Sideswipe.
Sideswipe, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I question with this, because I quite liked, I had the Sideswipe toy from Revenge of the Fallen when it came out, because I think it was one of the first toys that they released to do with the film, so I bought it. And I love the Audi sports car mode, but what I don't get is why they've given him the giant gorilla arms. Because I don't remember that from the character model or the original toy. I'm not quite sure what that design choice comes from. But anyway, there you go. And we wait to see, especially with the tiny legs. Looks, yeah.
This literally looks like a toy from a bygone era. I get that it's I get that it's designed, to look like the movie. But maybe it's the fact that the movie designs are so 20 years ago. Not 20 years ago, but like 15 years ago or something like that.
Well, 2009, wasn't it? Yeah, so 13 ago, and nearly 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Fallen came out.
I don't know. It just like the weird proportions and everything. It's so weird.
But anyway, so there's that Studio Series Sideways. We hit a bit of a milestone on Twitter. Now, Jamie runs our Twitter account and does a fantastic job. And
Alexis does our Grindr account. Great job on the Grindr account.
Yeah. He's probably got more subscribers on there than he has on Instagram. But anyway.
That was doing an iPhone number.
Probably. Oh, a bit of grinding down the cricket club. Nice.
He said he's off cottaging.
Whatever that means. 500 followers. So well done, Jamie, and well done to all of us. And well done to all of you if you follow us on Twitter. And if you don't get over there, get us over 500 now. And then the last bit of news, official news that I found this week was just some in-box pictures of Junkie with his artwork there on the front. So
really
if you're a fan of your Junkions and you're wanting to add to that Junkion army, we do have Junkie coming along fairly soon. So, right. So let's go on to, we're doing 3P next, aren't we?
Third party.
I was
called 3P.
Your 3P, yeah.
Doesn't sound cool, 3P.
I'm looking
we'll start calling Hasbro 1P.
First P.
Oh, the bit,
First
the
P.
original P. Wait, that doesn't sound much better, actually. Right, so I thought Dave might like this. So we have the Beast Wars Transformers, Megatron, Transmetal 2. Now, this is a posable statue figurine type thing, I think. Is that right, Dave? Have you seen this already?
I've seen the pictures of it. Yeah, I mean, it just looks absolutely incredible.
I'm guessing this is going to cost quite a bit of money.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this from the same studio that just cancelled the Optimus Prime and Megatron statues or something?
Oh, now that's an excellent question.
News? Again, like it's just stuff that I've noticed. Like, because these kind of high-end collector statues things are way out of my my price range and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic. Like it really does.
I mean, look at that face sculpt.
Yeah,
oh, God.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look incredible.
Does that come with stickers as well, like Cyclonus?
Do you know what this needs to come with?
Hasbro.
There's an episode in season 3 of Beast Wars where Megatron puts Quick Strike on trial for being a traitor, and he's in this mode, so he's this giant hulking red dragon, but he's wearing like a barrister's wig. Okay. And he should come with the wig. You know, but
Ben's pointed out that this is an officially licensed product, so not strictly third party, but you know, who's actually paying attention apart from every single twat in the comments who keeps bringing it up? Quiet, you'll just bask in its glory. Look at the thing. I mean, I don't even really know this version of Megatron, and even I think it looks immense.
Yeah,
I mean, look at that dragon head, and it lights up. You know, Alexis likes something that lights up.
Doesn't he?
Just generally in life. Could you imagine if they just decided that's what Megatron's going to look like in the new like live action movie?
You know? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just, like, they wouldn't though, because it would scare the bejesus out of any kids who went to watch that film. They would be having nightmares. When we think it's good. Hasbro probably not so much.
When we were kids, all of our favorite characters got murdered in front of us.
Yeah, I was like 6.
I think it's about time kids learned like the tragedy of life.
And there we have a Chris for comparison. So, you know, you always get your Chris in for a size comparison there.
Cool.
I mean, that thing's huge.
I mean, you'd say it's 1/3 Chris, wouldn't you?
Possibly more. Anyway, it's an immense looking figure. I'm guessing there's probably some pre-orders somewhere for this. And if there's not, they'll be up, I'm sure, very soon. Then we had this, which was teased by, was it Fans Hobby? And we already know about the double dealer that's coming. But here, we have something that looks awfully like Dreadwind's alt mode, which, if they're going to do the 3 Decepticon Power Masters that I had as a child, then I am going to have to sell the children, the dog, possibly the wife, just so I can get these things in. Although I've been assured they're not that expensive. But yeah, so that was
quite reasonable, weren't they?
That sets Twitter and a few other places, Facebook. There was a lot of chatter about the fact that that looks like Dreadwind, or you know, what was their Japanese name from Buster or Hydra, whichever one it was.
Hydra. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was excited for Double Dealer, but if you're going to do Dreadwind and Darkwing as well, or Buster and Hydra, depending which version you know. That might be it for me. I might have to buy them and then quit collecting forever.
Just go out on top.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to get any better, is it? Well, maybe we'll get the throttle lots, but you know, that's it really. Then you've hit the peak, and then we have another Cyclonus, which I'm sure Paul, you will know all about.
Hi, Andy. Yeah, thanks for asking. So, if I had to guess, this would be a knockoff of Fanstoys Quietus, or Quietus.
Is this the knockoff of Quietus?
Yeah. So, they were knocking off this. I heard, last week on this show, Alex has said that they're going to a little bit of sticky bother with this. So this is someone
they were going to stop it, and they weren't going to do it.
They did, and then more photos came out, which is so China toy stuff, isn't it? So this is a company knocking off a company, but they are literally just it's just one of the, if you collect third party, it's one of the best third party toys you can get, but it's around 190 to 200 pounds.
So is this a fourth party toy?
Yeah, how many parties do we have at this point? A third
is this
party of a third
knockoff
party toy. Does that become a sixth
of
party?
the X-Trans Bots one? I thought this was a knockoff of the Fans Toys one. Rohan, Arrowfire, Deluxe.
It's another Cyclonus, and as I said the other week, what the third party
think
companies
it's the
do when they're
Fans Toys
stuck,
one.
they knock out another Cyclonus because everybody knows that they sell.
I am right. I think it is the Fans Toys one.
Can we? What does that say up at the top? It just says MH Toys, does it?
Yeah, but it's a brand, so it means it's official.
I love the fact somebody pointed out, like, all these fans of obviously Quietus and everything. We're all saying, oh, it's terrible, they're knocking off this. Totally understand it. And somebody pointed out, well, it's a third party company moaning about not getting knocked off when they knock off
but
a
it's Fans Toys, and we love
that
Fans
doesn't make
Toys.
it all right.
Like, because of the engineering. It's like the engineering.
It still doesn't make it all right. Anyway, you get different heads for it, don't you? And it comes with a whole lot of shizzle there. You can get those samurai style shoulder things for it. You've got the original G1 style gun and the one that I think he had in the cartoon.
Arrowfire's claiming he'd done a video on it yesterday. I doubt he did.
He did do a video on it because I watched it yesterday. Actually, I think you'll find he did. He is quite up on this stuff. In fact, I think
when they say then, like, it's a knockoff of a third party toy, then, like, is it like an oversized knockoff, or like have they like stolen the molds, or like
yeah, they've basically taken the molds and copied it. And
have they changed it much? Can you tell from looking like how much have changed? Because you've got Quietus, haven't you?
It looks exactly the same.
So it is literally just, let's rip it off. I mean, do you get that facial expression with them?
I can't remember actually with the faces. The box is next to me, so I could look. But
something to research, perhaps.
It is, maybe. But he's got the bunny ears, which you can flip in and out, which is kind of cool. It's just such right. So third party can be a bit of a nightmare to transform. Quietus, you can pick him up and you can transform him without the instructions quite quickly, intuitively, and he looks amazing in both modes. So he's a bit of a precious one, and someone's knocking off like one of these third-party transformers that ever's come out. So that's probably why it's a bit off. No, I don't think people aren't kicking off that much. Fans Toys are probably kicking off. Because,
yeah, well, they were, weren't they? They were threatening not to. They were threatening not to supply any product to any online stores or anything that were trying to sell this.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, there you go. It's a very nice looking figure. Whether it sees the light of day, we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, if more photos are coming out, that would seem to suggest we are going to. And there's their version of Nightstick as well. Anyway, so it's called Hurricane, I assume. Wow, again, lots of photos of this. And then we had a Jazz. Which Jazz is this?
Magic Square. Oh, is it Magic? No, yeah, Magic Square Jazz. This is Magic Square's Jazz, which is legend size. So tiny, teeny, tiny little Jazz. Let the doors open.
We've seen this before, though, haven't we?
We have, but these are the most recent photos.
Yeah,
and if you're going to do a Jazz, I think you need to be able to stand him up and have the wings with the car doors out, which you can do.
Yeah, because that's more of the toy look, isn't it? And the cartoon look, of course, without the wings.
Or you can push them in. So either way.
Have the choice.
Oh, and those speakers. Don't understand why people are obsessed with them. They never look good.
How many times did he use them in the cartoon?
Once, I thought.
Yeah, like
not often, was it?
Once or something, yeah.
Kind of became a thing.
And then we had this. So we've talked about the Kang Toys version of Predaking many, many times. And this is the slightly controversial gorilla figure that they've added as part of it. Because the teams now for this is like about 10 different figures. So you've got like the original style ones based off the original characters. And then you've got ones that form, I think, the feet, Alexis said. They're like wolves. And this one is, I believe, part of the torso. And it's called Thrilla the Gorilla. And yeah, we've had some actual colour prototype photos, I guess, of the figure. So I know Arrowfire, who's in the chat, I know he's a big fan of these figures, and I'm sure he's quite excited about this, unless he's about to tell us something completely different. I don't know. You see, I don't know. For me, I guess I know I'm not a third-party collector, right? But this is supposed to be based on Predaking, right? So if you're a fan of Predaking, I'm guessing you're buying it for the combined mode. But like, why do we need the extra figures? Is it literally just to make more money so that people have to shell out for it? Or I just don't get why.
That looks good.
It does look good. Don't worry. If it was a standalone bot, fine. But it's like, I don't know. It just feels like they went, right, how can we overcomplicate this so that people have to buy more figures and we make much more money? That's it.
People think that with Hasbro mainline.
Oh, no, they don't. You get just the right amount with Hasbro.
Just the right amount. Just the amount you can take. Not too much.
They know the way of the samurai. Anyway, it's a good-looking figure. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Other than making money, I'm not sure why they felt the need to engineer this into it, but they have. And if you're picking it up, I think RFI told us it was like £100+ per bot, and I think there's like 10 of them or something because we discussed it last week, didn't we? So yeah, I mean, if you've been in for these, you're in for the long haul, aren't you?
RFI saying stability, there are issues with combined mode, hence why monkey pants and wolf feet are included. But at least wolf feet are being thrown in with other bots. Right.
So the monkey pants and the wolf feet will help with the stability.
Oh, apparently that wasn't about the toy. He was just texting me that.
Oh, they use nicknames for friends. Right, anyway, that's all the third-party news.
Can I just point out as well, I know this is probably going to seem like a really weird nitpick, but like, a gorilla does not seem like a suitable choice for a member of the Predacons.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Who would you add? Who would you add to the Predacons?
If it was an animal.
Well, what have you got? I mean, you got a bull, you've got a lion, you've got a panther, you've got an eagle, and what was the other one?
We've got
lion.
We've got a tiger. We've got a lion. We've got a
tiger. That was it.
It's not a bull, but it's like a bull, isn't it? I can't remember what you call it, but it's like that. Yeah. And then you've got
rhino and
eagle.
Yeah, I don't. But like, so wolves make sense. You know, wolves are predatory animals. Predators. Like that makes sense. So I don't know, like shark.
Yeah, I'll take shark.
Like, would that work though? Because the rest of them are mostly land-based animals. Could you have a shark? I suppose we've got, one shark-based character that can fly in the air.
Because Dive Bomb could carry him.
And drop the shark.
Just drops the shark.
Never mind jumping the shark, we're dropping the shark.
Well, exactly, that's it,
A giraffe.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But obviously you play that into its bio, every single one of the Predacons absolutely hates the shark. Useless,
Dick shark.
Except for that one episode where they just so happen to be fighting near a body of water.
Be like the Meg Griffin of the group. Shut up, shark.
Right, anyway. Should we do some pickups?
Yeah, why not?
Do it.
We now return to the Transformers.
Oh my God, Andy, what did you get this week?
Well, I've only got a couple of things this week, but it's more than usual, so I'm not going to complain about it at all. So last weekend, took the lad on a trip to Newcastle. He had been gifted at Christmas by one of his relatives some tickets to go on a tour of Newcastle's ground, the hallowed turf of St. James's Park. So I took him up there, and he absolutely loved it. But of course, while up there, it's rude not to drop into Forbidden Planet. And although there was a lot there I could have picked up, the only thing that actually made me really go, oh, yeah, I'm going to have that is, and again, massive surprise because everybody knows it's the Masters of the Universe Panther, which was reduced from 30 quid to a tenner. And I just thought, you can't not buy that for a tenner. It was the last one as well, last one on the shelf. I just felt sorry for it. I'll bring it home and then he can hang out. You can hang out with my reissue Skeletor as well.
Nice.
So, one day I'll unbox them, I'm sure. Anyway, so that was one thing. And then I was lucky enough to get from Game, late to the party, I know, but lucky enough to get an Earthrise Skylynx. Now, I've not had this figure before. I'm not a huge Skylynx fan, so I never had a massive urge to pay £80 or whatever he was when he first came out for this, even though it's supposedly a great figure, a big Commander class figure.
Doesn't turn into a robot.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, it's the robot, like bird Links thing is just like I've always found it a bit weird because let's be honest, the toy was one of those ones that was dropped in from another company just to make up the line of the original Transformers. But having said all that, it is Skylinks, and when I spotted him in game for 40 quid, I thought, well, it'd be rude not to. And then they pointed out to me that if I signed up for their loyalty card thing, then they'd knock another 20% off. So I got it for £32. And I just think £32 for a Commander class figure, as good as Skylinks is apparently, is you just can't say no. Unfortunately, since I bought it yesterday, I haven't actually had time to open it and actually appreciate the damn figure yet. But I'm sure I will eventually at some point over the weekend. Not tomorrow because I'm really busy tomorrow. And maybe no, we're doing things on Sunday. Anyway, at some point in the next month, I will open
Not
this
Tuesday.
and I'll let you know what I think. Not Tuesday. No, definitely not Tuesday. And that was it for me. Those were my pickups.
Oh, nice pickups. David, did you pick anything up this week?
You know what? I did, but it's not Transformers related at all because we're in that weird period where like there's nothing new out yet and stuff like that. But yes, I did, and it's so I'm of a generation, and I've fallen down a historical rabbit hole, a hole which I've not been down in many, many years. And so, yes, this week I got Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Because I am one of those Dragon Ball Z fans. Don't care about manga, don't care about your anime. But I love Dragon Ball.
Where's Alexis when you need him?
Alexis would be absolutely shitting it if he saw you with that.
Yeah.
He'd be getting the clips ready.
He would.
He'd be rubbing his thighs.
He'd take us on a journey through the history of Dragon Ball Z.
Where did you pick him up from?
Oh, Amazon. Because I'm not going to leave the house to go anywhere. It's it's a bit of a weird thing. Like I'm still waiting for the new series of the Legends to hit. Obviously, Skids is hitting this week, I think, maybe, or next week. But it's weird. It seems like all the Legends stuff is just waiting to get rolled out over the course of the month. They're not dropping in case assortments, which is weird. So
I think Skids has been spotted this week in Forbidden Planet stores. So
oh, really?
If you have the chance to pop into the one in your local one up your way in Newcastle, you never know. You might find, I think, Skids and Galvatron I saw in a photo somebody had put on. But I forget which Forbidden Planet it was. I think it was.
I really like that Forbidden Planet. The staff in the Newcastle one are really nice and friendly.
Yeah.
Chat, and they've got the cool downstairs bit, the comic bit is lush downstairs.
It's one of the best ones I've been in. And I know that sounds a bit weird, but it is. It's just like the friendly staff, so much stock and so much to look at. And, I found myself in there with my little lad, and we were looking, and he was just running from like shelf to shelf and go, "Oh, look at this!" And he probably knew more stuff in there than I bloody did. But
it's so much nicer now than it used to be. Like I remember back in the day when it was a hobble, like it was just the worst. Like early 2000s. Like I always they always used to. There was always, well, it still is that stigma of like the comic book shop. It's like, you don't want to go into the comic book shop because you're one of them and stuff like that. But I mean, the old Forbidden Planet, it was dark, with its black carpets and all of that stuff. It was seedy as hell.
Are you sure you hadn't wandered into a sex shop, Dave?
I mean, possibly. There was a lot of toys messing around, and
it's like that meme. Look at my face when I go in the adult toy shopping.
Yeah, exactly. It's
these are not the toys I was promised.
Yeah, so much nicer now. So much nicer.
And a decent amount of Transformers.
You were there. Was it the Saturday before, Paul? And I was there last Saturday, and it was really busy. I mean, there was a really good flow of people coming, and you'd look around, and it was, as you would expect, it should be. Lots of different age groups, and.
But when you go downstairs to the comic section, I've been there probably about 6 or 7 times. Every single time, there's been different people in there. Well, I won't remember, but there definitely has to be different people, and they always say, "Oh, you're right. What are you looking for? Can I help you?" Like. That interaction, because they're on their own, so there's no manager looking after them, but they always interact. I always appreciate that. It's good.
They're just desperate to sell comics,
Yeah. Please buy.
please, like, buy a comic. Well, how much is this? How much is this one issue? Surprisingly expensive, mate. It's like £7.
Yeah.
What? For a single comic book?
I remember when Beano was 30p.
Yeah.
Oh, 25p for the Transformers comic back in the day. Those were the days.
Well, you know what? Like, I mean, you know, while on the subject of comic books, like, I was just reading this today, right? Purely random, right? Like, just reading it. This cost me £26, right? For a book, which has like 8 issues in it. And then DC have just launched their equivalent of Netflix. And you can sign up for an entire year for £36. And for that, you get access to 25,000 comics.
Jesus wept.
And like, you're not okay. You don't get the new stuff. I think it's something like 6 months behind or something. But it's just like, yeah, if you work for a comic book store now, like, damn, man, like, trying to convince people like to buy a comic book, it's hard. So that's probably why they're really chatty.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, that's a whole other discussion. Let's get into discussion about comic books and what's happening with them another time. Otherwise, we won't hear about your pick of the ball. Have we done yours? We haven't, have we yet?
No, I only got one pick up, which was I was going to review. I'm literally going to hold it at the camera, show you the box. So I got. I do love a little bit of Hasbro. They do some stuff so well, and I know, Andy, you prefer the Combiner mold, Combiner Wars mold, which I really, really like. But I really have.
Oh, I've no doubt I'm in the minority there, Paul. I've no doubt I'm in the minority.
It's a weird perversion that you like that. It's like you don't like yourself. So
I can't believe I'm taking this abuse from a man who loves giraffes. What's going on?
I fucking love them.
Andy, I'm totally with you, Andy.
Thank you. Yes, me and Dave. Woohoo!
So I've got, this is my 4th robot from the mold, and was it 2 weeks ago? I think I didn't realize Barricade was one of the molds as well. But yeah, so picked him up from Dinobot Island, and I got a lovely note from Dave. Thank you very much. And then he got off to me lovely and quick. But it was a good price. Thank you so much, Dinobot Island. I just really love this mold. How can you not like it? It's like a beautiful transformation.
I had the Prowl, and I just, it did nothing for. I actually found it quite flimsy. It just didn't feel like particularly well made. I don't know. Maybe I was just unlucky. Maybe it was a QC thing with the one I had, but I've never been a massive fan of the Datsun Bros. So, you know, I'd much rather have the Seekers. Give me a jet anytime over a car.
Yeah, if Hasbro had done a good Seeker, I'd buy it. But until then, I have to make do with these.
Oh, here we go. Anyway.
So yeah, that was my only pick up this week. I still haven't fucking arrived. Moon Studios. I can't remember what limb of Raiden I've ordered now. It's been that long. But
have you ordered all of them, or have you just ordered like?
No, just one limb. Just one to try out.
Is this the
a gateway?
Raiden?
Yeah, a gateway. No, it's the KO of the masterpiece. No, it's a
no, it's not KO. No, it's their own
original
version.
one.
It's a third-party version of that
masterpiece. Moon Studios.
Yeah, it's much cleaner, isn't it? That's the thing. When you look at the bots and everything, well, it's mostly the bots because let's be honest, the trains are going to look like the trains. But when you look at the bots, they're much cleaner than the Hasbro versions, which tend to have a lot more kibble. You know, that's obviously related to the transformations in the combined mode and everything. But you know, there's always a little bit of debate online with like who prefers which version, the Hasbro versions or the third-party ones.
I don't think anyone prefers the Hasbro version. I've yet to see anyone who goes the Hasbro version with all that kibble for 3 times the price as the better one.
Is it 3 times the price?
Oh, it's about that. If you love the Hasbro one,
I'm not sure
comment in the comments.
False news.
Hasn't that been coming out for like a decade now, though?
I don't think that Hasbro one's even out, is it? Anywhere near it?
No.
It feels like the masterpiece Raiden toy has been knocking around now for longer than some people that I work with have been born. Like it feels like forever, you know. It's yeah.
But this Moon Studios one, I ordered it from a guy in the UK who sent it off. Like it's not his fault at all. He sent the postage. and every time I check it, it just says, "No worries, we have this Royal Mail. The next notification will be when we drop it off at your house." That was 3 weeks ago.
That's not a good sign. I'm not gonna lie about that. That's not a good sign.
So,
somebody put that through an X-ray and went, "Oh, it's better than the Hasbro version."
That's a very clean-looking bot. Oh dear.
All right, so we're going to do a midway discussion, which we haven't done before, so I need to find a different intro. I'll use this.
Ultra Magnus. One more switch and Metroplex is safe. Fight the disease, Ultra Magnus, not me.
How am I gonna be an octopus by
No, it's Optimist. Octopus makes absolutely no sense at all. Who do you think's singing it? Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
Well, maybe it was that octopus that picked all the World Cup winners not so long ago.
Like I said before, kid, it's all over. And as I said before...
Cool, so that's the intro
ever.
And it just gave me enough time to download Rohans Corner, so
coincidence. You decide.
Put Return of Optimus Prime back on. How was it?
I was really enjoying that. I loved that as a kid. That was one of my
I'll share
episodes.
those the pics there, Paul.
Cool.
So this is where we're kind of handing over a bit to Dave in a way, a little bit, because as well as our TF UK con that we're going to be attending, there is, of course, as always, well, I say as always, not for the last 2 years, but, before that, as always, the return of the much, much loved TF Nation, our home, where we all actually physically met.
How many times have we done this, Dave? Like, every year we do it, don't we?
Feels like it.
Yeah. Finally, we're going to finally do it.
Feels
we
like
are this year, though, so don't jinx it.
Well, my assumption is that ever since I've come onto the show to start talking about it, we've never been able to do it. So I'm blaming you guys.
We're the jinx.
That's fair enough.
Jinx of it, yeah, exactly. So I fancy a quiet August, so I thought I'd come back. No, I'm kidding. Yes, we're on the road to TFN 2022. It has been, or it will have been, 3 years since we were all together at the Hilton in Birmingham, and it's like super exciting. And I really wish that I could tell you all of the cool stuff that we've got going on, but I can't, and I won't. There's just a lot of fun stuff going on. There will be some stuff which you will start to get ideas on very shortly, which is cool. The guests are being trickled out. We've just announced Jim is coming back.
Yes, this is
Sorensen.
Jim
I was going to
Sorensen,
say,
yeah.
We've got a few pictures just to back up everything you're telling us, because obviously one of the great things, as you've put on your
What, did you think he was lying?
No.
Some photos just to prove it.
But you've advertised, obviously, all the different aspects of TFN, but one of the ones that we all love, which is the Trader Hall, which I can still remember my first TFN walking into that Trader Hall and my wife just saying that she knew she'd lost me. It was at that point. That was it now. I must have walked around there for 4 or 5 hours just buying something. But
it's people rescuing an animal and then finally letting it go into the wild. Go on, you're free now.
Flee, my pretty.
Go fly.
Yeah.
But you were saying about the guests. So you've got, quite a good lineup is such an understatement.
Yeah. So we got Gary Chalk, Optimus Primal himself. That just for use too, for your benefit. That's a Beast Wars character.
Yes. He has been Optimus Prime as well, to be fair.
He has.
Some of us like the Unicron trilogy, and
yeah, well,
some of us connoisseurs.
Optimus Prime throughout the Unicron trilogy as well. Not only that as well, but if you're a Masters of the Universe fan, you showed Panther there, Man at Arms from the 2000X series.
Yes,
which
yeah,
we
he
can all
was.
agree is like the best He-Man. But yeah, if you're a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, he was in Sonic the Hedgehog, like and he was one of the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons as well. Watchmen movie fame, Gary's done it all, and on top of everything else, just like a really fascinating human being as well.
There's a lot of people really excited and looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, well, it's so weird. I mean, Gary's been to the UK before for other Transformers conventions that may not exist anymore. But you forget that it has been such a long time since he's been, and it's really great to see people who've never had the opportunity to meet him to be like so excited by it. And he just brings a wealth of charm and personality and all of that stuff, and a tremendous singing voice.
Really?
Oh yeah,
great point by the Bisto there as well. True.
What's that?
Just that you don't need the cosplay contest to enter Alexis. You just buy him a drink. What does he sing then, Gary Chug?
He's just a absolute music lover. He's got such an eclectic taste. I've had the opportunity to speak to him like a few times in the past and stuff, and we've talked a little bit about music, but he just his love for music in general, and I believe he plays guitar.
Multi-talented.
It's one of those people that you love to hate because he's so damn talented. It's on camera, behind the mic, all of that stuff. It's great. Yeah.
And then you've got Andrew Wildman as well, another one of the fantastic comic book artists who of course worked on the original Transformers series as well.
Yeah, exactly. Some would call him the GOAT of Marvel Comics. He's absolutely legendary, but he's worked on so much, and even like outside of comic books as well. Story Doctor Who's there. I'm sure he was one of the the storyboard artists for New Who. And I think he might have worked a bit on Old Who as well. But the guy has done it all. And if you show up to TFN, you might see something you've not seen before.
Oh, you tease, Dave.
Just saying. Brian, now this is cool. I don't know if who've you got next?
Next guest picture is
so
Nicole.
Brian and Nicole. So I am super excited. I mean, not only is Nicole heading up the new show, Earthspark, so before the show even starts, we're going to have the person that's masterminding the thing, which is so cool. But the two of them, Nicole and Brian, they have such a wealth of knowledge regarding television. Brian. Here's a little fact for you, right? Brian wrote Mighty Ducks.
What? No.
But and here's the thing: due to the way Hollywood works, he didn't get writing credit on it. But he wrote the original Mighty Ducks movie.
Because that was really popular as well.
My favorite films ever.
Yeah, Nicole. I mean, look at that: Transformers Prime, Transformers Rescue Bots, Transformers Robots in Disguise, Transformers Rescue Bots Academy. She's an actress herself. She's done a bunch of voices in Transformers as well. Some might not realize. She has played Bumblebee in a series.
Right.
She was Bumblebee in Rescue Bots. Now, obviously, it was, the movie edited sort of thing. But, she's done that. And like I say, she's getting ready to launch the next show. Now, we have Nicole. We also have the art director of Earthspark as well there. There he is.
The man himself, the man, the myth, the legend.
It's
my endearing memory of Nick Roach was at the Stan Bush gig when he got to introduce him onto the stage. He was literally like, he could have been one of us. He was just so freaking excited.
Hey, like one of my all-time favorite like moments at TFN was after Nick introduced him. Nick and I were just standing to one side, just singing our hearts out together. It's he's a he's a beautiful, beautiful human being, and it's ironic there that the top thing we've got there is Spotlight Cup. He really was the diamond from IDW. He was he was that first new talent that showed up for IDW, and he's writing this swan song, this Last Bot Standing series that's coming out in a couple of months, which will be running while TFN is going on. And
really,
that's
when it's coming out, same time.
I think a couple of issues will have already dropped by the time, so we'll be about halfway through. But the very fact that everybody knows that Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime, is his favorite character, well, Hot Rod, and the fact that he's getting to tell that Old Man Logan / Last Bot Standing, the Last Man on Earth story sort of thing, I think that's going to be really, really fascinating. And it's the guy that brought us Last Stand of the Wreckers, so it's probably going to be ultra violent and amazing. But
I love that. I love that book though. It's just.
Well, has Nick ever written a single comic not been outstanding?
No.
Like I still maintain, his Spotlight, his Coda story with Prowl and Cup is still like up there as like one of my all-time favorite Transformers comic books, and that's phenomenal, But Lindsay Russo, Elita 1. From the Netflix show, and what a fascinating character. And I say character, I mean person. Like Lindsay, she's a former military veteran. She's a former journalist. Like her background is so fascinating.
She looks famous. Her face just looks like one of the most famous faces. Like it just looks like a famous face.
Yeah,
it's wrong if she's not famous because she should be.
She's embraced the community a bit, hasn't she? As well, I remember seeing lots of posts from her on Twitter because obviously she got quite a lot of, love and lots of positive feedback about her portrayal of Elita 1, and she really seemed to engage with that.
She did. She really, really did. And I've had the opportunity to speak to her already, and she's, she does. She loves it. I think it's such a great opportunity to have her over here because, again, somebody who's incredibly multi-talented. She's not just a voiceover actress. She's. Pardon me, I'm drinking fizzy pop. She's, a stage actress. She's been in television. She does mocap for video games and all of that stuff, which is in itself an incredibly unique skill. And if you cross her, as I say, she's former military, so she's weapons trained as well. So just be careful, I guess.
So many people were saying in the chat that she was the highlight of the show.
Yeah, I think Elita 1 was hugely popular for
them.
Did you have her on the big broadcast last year?
We did, yeah.
I remember watching that, and she came across really well in it as well. Not that people don't, but sometimes you can tell it's more of a job to them, whereas she really spoke quite passionately about what she was doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And she, I think it's really good as well because there is sadly only a very limited opportunity for female voice talent to really get involved in Transformers because for the most part it is male robots running around and stuff like that. So for her to get the opportunity to play a character like Elita 1, who was so pivotal to the show, I'm not going to say that I didn't think she was done dirty by the end of the show, but that's neither here nor there. But it's going to be great to have her. I'm super, super excited, and she is like super excited to show up. I'm
quite excited about this guy as well.
Yeah, did anybody like the that incredible artwork for that new Blu-ray collection? And
all his art is just fucking amazing.
As it
stuff
happens,
he puts out on Twitter, and I see stuff. I think that looks good. And I see it's Matt Ferguson.
As it happens, though,
he's unbelievable.
Not that I like to talk about it, but I did win a signed copy of the special edition Blu-ray, thing from him on Twitter. I don't like to bring it up though.
No, of course not. No. You're a humble man.
Exactly. I don't like to talk about my works with charity either. But yeah, he's another one who's he does so much incredible artwork now for different franchises and things. But he's another one who you can tell is a fan of what he does as well. Yeah. So he
interacts, doesn't he? He chats on Twitter. He's on TFUK. We'll just chat with people. We'll just enter the comment section, just write stuff saying like, "Oh, thanks, you like that." It's like, what the fuck?
And like what I love like best about Matt's stuff is that like his movie posters and stuff remind me of how good movie posters can be.
The Alien one.
All of his Marvel stuff, like it's just, I mean, it's incredible. His Star Wars stuff is fantastic. Like it really is iconic. Like I'm super excited to have him over and like just see what he's got. I desperately want his Goonies poster that he did, like which is sold out on his website, but is just like incredible. Just I have a real problem with really talented people.
You'll be fine with us, don't worry. And then I'm genuinely really excited about this one because Jim Sorensen is just like, I remember the panel he did with Chris McFeely when they were showing, I think, wasn't it before? Hadn't he come over that week, but the week before he'd been to pick up all of the incredible production artwork and stuff that some lady had found in a freaking warehouse or something, and she didn't even really know much about it. And he literally came over and brought a ton of it with him and showed it all off to us before anybody else had seen it. And it was, that's another one of my great memories of that particular TF Nation, was just sitting in that hall and everybody's kind of like, whoa, reactions to so many things.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Like I see a comment there saying, part of the furniture. And that's it. Like Jim is there every year because he absolutely loves the show. But Jim does more than just write books, as you said, Andy. There, like he goes out of his way to just find and try to preserve as much of this as he possibly can. He is he is an asset to this fandom that I think is sometimes, unfortunately, slightly overlooked. Because, as you say, we can do things like the Oddities panel, which is the one you were talking about, where he's just like, look, here's a picture that nobody has ever seen before. And this is a concept piece of artwork or something like that you've never seen. And, we have such a great relationship with Jim that Jim is able to turn around and say, I'm going to hold off on this and I'm going to bring it to TFN because I love this community so much and this show so much that this is where I'm going to do it. And all I'm going to say is Jim's been at it again. And if you're a fan, you don't want to miss Saturday night.
Oh, that was one of the best bits last time.
And now you've guaranteed a scrum to get into that hall again. We left, didn't we? Was it me and you, Paul, went to get drinks or something?
Oh, yeah, we went there.
And we asked the guy on the door at the time, are we all right if we go to come back in?
Like, Andy is heavily pregnant. Please let him in.
We walked there,
he's a man.
We came back, and
point.
the people on the door had completely changed, so they had no idea who we were. They were like, no, you're not coming in yet. And then, thankfully, two people walked out, and they said, go on, then you two can go in.
Was that the Friday night or the Saturday night?
That was the...
That would have been the Friday.
That would have been the Friday, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been the Friday, because the Saturday we were in the big hall.
Yeah, it was the Friday night. I don't think we made it to the... Did we make it to the big hall on the Saturday? I can't remember.
You didn't. You were rude.
We drank a lot by that stage.
I mean, all I'm going to say is it was only the 4th season of Transformers animated that we dropped.
Yeah,
it was,
not a big.
But I know you G-1ers.
I was there. I loved it. It's just Andy.
I was lucky enough.
It's a shame.
I'm pretty sure you're lying there, Paul. But I was lucky enough. Didn't you show it again? The big broadcast.
We'll put it on the big broadcast. Yeah.
I still got up. I still managed to.
It's like the Traders Hall on Sunday. I was there early. Went in the Traders Hall, and I thought, "Where's Andy and Jamie?" They were still in bed.
Do you mean
sound
Do you mean
asleep.
on Saturday?
Because
they on Saturday, Paul, when it was the Traders Hall, and me and Jamie were in the queue, and I think RJ was with us, and then we messaged you to ask where you were, and you sent us a picture of you still in bed, looking very bleary-eyed.
All I'm going to say, right, is I know, like, you know, we're all of a relatively similar age. You know, we all grew up on G1. You want to buy a ticket for Saturday night? Trust me. Trust me. This is my ASMR voice.
I was going to say that's both exciting and also slightly disturbing.
I trust you, Dave. I trust you, Dave. I trust you, Dave. I trust you, Dave.
I'm still kind of on the fence.
Buy it, trust me.
No, not about the buying it, just about whether I trust Dave with that voice. It scares me at that point.
No, never trust Dave. Never trust Dave.
If Dave starts talking you with that voice, you're in trouble.
Yeah, or you know, it's I have seen some stuff, gentlemen. I have seen some stuff.
Seen some stuff in my life.
I can't wait, man. I literally can't wait. Like I'm super excited. I'm super excited to have everybody back. I'm super excited to have the dealers there. I'm super excited to have all the guests there. I'm super excited to just like,
you're making me excited.
Yeah,
but I think we should be, shouldn't we? I mean,
3 years.
I know there's people who are watching this who haven't been lucky enough to have the chance to go to TFN yet. But like, you know, 2 years in a row, especially that last year when we were able to do it. I mean, that was just like people say that TFN is the best weekend of the entire year, and like I've seen people like, yeah, but is it really? No, it frigging is.
It's amazing, and the people are so nice.
You don't want it to end, do you? That's the thing.
It's just us, and like literally, if you're going or if you're thinking about going, and you don't know anyone, you can just come and stand with me, and I will stand with you for the whole convention. I promise you that I will go up and have beers. Like, do not like if you're going.
You won't see him in the morning, though. Not till probably after 11. If you
yeah. There's time limits. Let me sleep. No, literally, I remember going for my first time. I thought, oh my god, I can't talk to anyone. And it was like, come on, let's go and chat. And we were chatting to like the voice of Grimlock within 5 minutes, and people were like introducing themselves. I didn't know anyone. I'd never done a Transformers show before. All I had was just me, and they were amazing. So if you're worried about going, because I get that, 100% get that, you won't know people, just come and chat to us. We will chat to you, and we'll put you under our wing, and we'll talk to you for the whole damn weekend, because it's amazing.
Yeah, like, you know, very, very excited to be coming back. It's, you know, put it this way. In the past, we've had a year to plan these things. We've had 3 years to plan this. You know, and there's going to be some amazing stuff there, and I guarantee you, if you want to see some stuff you've never seen before, then you need to come to TF Nation. This isn't a very good jingle, but I'm going to see it anyway.
I mean, it's probably not your strongest.
No, probably not. No. You know, everybody.
It'll still sell some tickets, though.
You have to understand your limits, unfortunately.
Right. Should we do a bit of Rohans Corner then?
Why the hell not? Let's Rohan it up.
I love that.
Who knows? Maybe Alexis will be here.
He said like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be here in a sec. Cool, thanks, Alexis. All right,
he's not in the house. He's in the house. He just can't find his way to the room.
He's near. He's near. Alexis is near. I can put Rohan on. He'll be back. Okay. Rohan.
Save the world from the evil Decepticons. The heroic Autobots are led by Optimus Prime. He's more than meets the eye. He's a Rohan in disguise.
Rohan? Who is this guy? Rohan, the one and only Rohan.
Wanna bet? Starscream! Hello everyone and welcome to Rohan's Corner, and this week I am taking a look at the Kapow Loot Crate offerings. Yes, this controversial topic seems to be doing the rounds at the moment following Kapow's decision to sell out mystery boxes. It's nothing new, right? We've seen mystery boxes before from multiple different vendors of different products, but ultimately it's the first time within the Transformers official kind of retail space that I've seen them especially so popular. and some people have been getting their Loot Crate boxes. Box A seemed to be a little bit more disappointing for the masses than positive. Box B and C, once they started adding in figures, seemed to be a lot more popular. However, I start looking at it and I think, is this not just gambling? Are you not just, giving your money away to buy some Transformers related memorabilia when realistically you could be putting that money towards some sort of bots that you haven't had before, especially maybe from a line that you didn't know existed or from a line that you aren't that familiar with. And for me, if I had 15 quid kicking around, yes, it's a nice way to get some memorabilia. Certainly some stuff I probably wouldn't have bought myself. Some of the little statues and the likes are pretty cool, but would I spend more than a couple of quid on them? Probably not. Some of the other elements are unique, but like the MP3 connectivity, Fort Max head, gimmicky type stuff, that's cool. Hey, I've got some of that crap. If anybody wants to buy a Loot Crate box from me, let me know. Email Rohan at Rohans Corner and I will get back to you with an epic box of full proportion. Okay, there won't be a HasLab Unicron in there, but maybe we should do that. Maybe we should buy a HasLab Unicron and sell Loot Crate boxes, 1,000 of them at £100 a pop, and people can actually get a chance to win a Unicron. It's just gambling, isn't it, really, at the end of the day? Except it's totally blind. And it's kind of like buying those blind bag figures that you get in other brands like Thomas or Marvel characters, the really entry-level crap, let's be honest, for a couple of quid at the supermarket just to shut your kid up when they can't stop crying about buying a toy. And you open it up and you're like, I bought this for 3 quid, it's a pile of rubbish. But realistically, because it's Transformers branded, we never say it's rubbish, and we enjoy it regardless. So, are they such a bad thing? No, of course they're not. They're pretty cool for those people who are investing in them. I hope you enjoy them. For me, no, probably I wouldn't spend the money on that. I'd rather save it and spend it on some third-party figures. But hey, that's just me. Anywho, for another week on Rohan's Corner, I've been Rohan. Catch you again next week. Back to the studio.
Transformers! Rohan's in disguise.
Oh, he surprised me then. Normally it's a bit longer.
Like the night. Anyway.
So Lexus is
he's on his way. 15 minutes.
He's on his way.
He's like when you order a taxi. Where are you? Just come
he
around
texted
the corner.
us like 15 minutes before the show started. He went, I might be a little bit late.
Oh yeah, he said a little bit late. That's a direct quote. Bless his heart.
So should we do foreplay? Foreplay tonight is Transformers we have in our collection, which are really crap, but we just can't sell. So
yeah, when we say can't sell, the idea is it's more that you kind of a really crap Transformer that you still wouldn't get rid of, even though you know it's terrible. So that it's like some kind of reason. It might be. I suppose you could do a Transformer that's really crappy. You just can't sell it because nobody will buy the damn thing. But I mean, that wasn't. It was more about the fact that something that you know it's crap, but you're still going to hang on to it.
Cool.
As I said before to you, Paul. No CJ face.
Lynn, these are sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. Don't think you want to join in.
Yeah. Oh, Alan Partridge. I would love
Dan.
to see him live.
Dan.
Dan. You can't hear me.
Alexis.
Can't hear me. Dan.
You can't hear me. No, it's all right.
Lady boys. Right. So I'll go first.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
That's cool. I'll do it. I've got him somewhere. Where the fuck is he? There he is. So my Transformer that I kind of hate a lot and that I can't sell at all is Grimlock. And what version of Grimlock would you say? Well, without doubt, the one which got me back into Transformers. The one which looked so amazing in his alt mode that I could not believe it would be an actual Transformer. I just thought it was a model of Grimlock in his alt mode. And it's Alternator's Grimlock. Now, this, believe it or not, this actually isn't the... sorry, Dave, featured you. Oh, no. Grimlock's back.
It's going so well.
I'll just stay there. Alternators Grimlock. He looks like in his any alternator in their alt mode looks amazing. Any alternator in their robot mode looks like 2007, like they should. And
that looks like you've left it parked up somewhere in a dodgy area of Liverpool or something.
This is Middlesbrough alternator. It's just.
It's not burnt out.
Really hard to transform and remember what to do,
I hate
it's
alternators.
not nice.
Just not because they're bad-looking figures, but I hate them for the transformations. I'm sorry.
It's just not natural. But I can't get rid of him because he is the one who set me on my journey. The one I bought after this was Masterpiece Sandstorm, which I loved and sold eventually because. I don't know, transformation was a little bit complicated. This was the first one, then Sunstorm. So after getting back into Transformers, this was definitely my first one. So he's so wanky, and he collects so much dust, and like he's been there since day one. Like all these Transformers I have around me and all these toys, there's very few Transformers or toys that have been there since day one. He is one of them, so he's always dusty. But always dust him off and think, I hate transforming you. And I get this far, as far as he gets, and then he just gets put back, hidden behind some boxes. This is literally what I do. I'll do this. So there we have, this is Miko for Iron Titan, IFX EO5. We'll just pop him there. No one can see that. And then, there we go. Done. And I don't have to worry about it. It's done. So he's gone.
I've never been able to transform that figure without something popping off.
Oh, arms, the massive butt flap it's got. They can all.
I used to have the same problem with the swindle toy. I can't remember which part of it, but there was always a part during transformation that would pop off and just make me swear a lot. So, but I like the look of the figures. But
there was just it was. I'm not 100% sure if alternators were before Masterpiece. They were around the same time.
I think but there was a step. Were they? Weren't they like the precursor to it?
I think so. And it was just like what you had before, where this is that side swipe.
The greatest of the side swipes, Armada side swipe.
This is where we were at in terms of Transformers. And then you saw an alternator in its alt mode, and you were like, fuck, that looks like an actual car. It's even got the seats and the bloody steering wheel, and that. Yeah, it was amazing.
Very nicely detailed.
But, well, and if you remember as well, the very first alternator, Smokescreen. I mean, he was amazing.
Ooh.
Like, and he still is a great toy. The Subaru Impreza.
Who doesn't love a Subaru Impreza, though? I mean, that was the car as well.
Well, it was, yeah, exactly.
Especially if you lived on a council estate, that was like the rich guy always had the Subaru Impreza.
Yeah, but then every subsequent alternator after that, it was like, what is this? Like, why?
Why is that Grimlock?
Why can't you just sell me like the car mode and the robot mode separately? I'll pay it. Yeah. Like, honestly,
don't let me transform it.
Dear.
Yeah, the gimmick of transforming is so outdated.
It's not necessary in a transformer anymore. It's fine.
So alternators, pick them up cheap if you can. Be prepared to hate yourself.
Don't get the Optimus Prime pickup truck one. I hate that one. Oh, I hate that one. If you bring that towards me, I will destroy it. I will burn it with fire.
Well, Sunstorm got sold, and Grimlock's still there, so he's still in my collection, and I probably would never ever sell him.
Lovely.
David, would you like to go next? What's a Transformer that you've had in your collection which is awful, but you would never ever sell him?
I think I might get some flack for this because some people will go, oh well, it's gimmick laden and it's so much fun and stuff. And I was it's really difficult. I thought this was a particularly difficult challenge because there's few toys that I genuinely hate. But I was going through just some of them and just purely for the proportions, like. Can we talk a little bit about
is that Cybertronian Jetfire?
This is Armada Jetfire.
Armada. That's Armada,
yeah. And look, like I get it. Like, he's got knees, he's got elbows, he's got wrists, he's got shoulder. Like he's got all of it, but he is literally a torso and then then he's just that, you know, like.
God, I hope that's supposed to happen.
No,
that's very sad.
It's not, but it's not. But yeah.
Oh no!
God,
no!
Please,
I'm kidding.
We've been through this with Paul twice. We
He's
can't
there,
have it
you know.
again.
But I think the problem with him is that he's a gimmick, because he is literally a add-on piece for Optimus Prime, you know, and I think that's where he suffers. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, I think Transformers could do with more gimmicks. I think we've seen with the recent announcement of the Cybertron Titan Metroplex. It's like, so hold on a minute, you're going to give me a bigger version of a toy that I've already got, but you're going to strip all of the fun out of him. Okay, you know, and I get it. I think there is absolutely a place for gimmicks because, you know, we like Transformers is built on gimmicks. Like combiners are a gimmick. You know, I'm sure everybody's like super excited for the new Menasor, as well you should be. But for a character like Jetfire and things like that, it is a bit of a crap toy. Like I feel like, yeah, I don't hate him, but at the same time as well, much like yourself, you know, he was there when I got back into collecting, because I started getting back in the early 2000s. You know, and Armada was picking up and things like that, and I really liked Jetfire as that version of Jetfire, but yeah, the toy's just a bit flimsy and a bit weirdly proportioned and stuff like that.
Doesn't he have a lovely alt mode? Like quite.
He does, like
the chunky bot.
Yeah, he does. You know, his spaceship mode is great. I really do like it. But I'm very much a robot mode connoisseur. You know, it's very rare that I will ever have a Transformer in vehicle mode.
To testify.
Yeah, but because, well, one, it just takes up too much space, I guess. But you know, it's yeah, I don't know. Just he's not great. But I don't know. I love him in a weird way, I guess. Sort of.
It's almost like you're questioning your life choices.
I really am. You know, it's like,
do I though?
I'm trying to think. Why do I still have you? I might sell
Check
them
out
actually
eBay
tomorrow.
everyone.
You know, 20 pence, anybody?
We'll start bidding.
Andy, where did you go to? What dark hole did you end up in?
Oh, we're having that discussion. Oh, sorry, you mean Transformers was
right. Right. So, cast your minds back. Let's go on the journey. Cast your minds back to about 2007, and I was with my now wife at the time, and we were in our local glamorous Tesco in Seacroft in Leeds. If you've never been to Seacroft in Leeds, good, don't. It's terrible. But we were in there. It's similar, but not quite as bad. But it's similar. We're in there, and we saw, me and my stepson. We saw these Transformers on the shelves, and at this point he was getting into them because basically I pretty much made him, you know, brainwashed him. And there are two different varieties of them. One of them was Rodimus Prime, and one of them was Soundwave. And he wanted the Rodimus Prime because he'd watched the movie and everything, so he was really excited for it. And I mean, come on, it's Soundwave, you know, G1 style Soundwave. You're not going to buy that, are you? So my wife bought both of them for us as like thing, and she never bought me a Transformer at that point. Now my now wife, she wasn't at that point, and I've never opened it. I've never got rid of it. I've still got it here today, and the only reason I know it's crap is because I've seen so many other people's reviews of it. It's the titanium Soundwave. Now, my understanding of this figure from the reviews I've seen and everything else is that it might look quite nice, and it does. It looks shiny,
really lovely.
Like, I mean, the Rodimus Prime. I remember that we got home, and Liam was straight away like, "Can I open it?" Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. Are you going to open yours? Hell no. He's just staying in there for now. I'm just going to enjoy the packaging and everything. You know, you got a lovely product shots on the back and a bit of a bio there and everything. anyway, I just remember then seeing reviews of it, and like people were so down on this damn thing. The Rodimus I helped Liam with, and it was just shocking. It was just, I remember even saying, "This is a bit of a piece of crap. I'm going to get you a G1 Rodimus instead, because I can't let you have this as your Rodimus Prime." And I've never opened it, but it's gone with me everywhere. We've gone, several house moves and things. And he's never left the box. He's still in there. The only damage to the box, unfortunately, is that little flop there just starting to go. But I can't get rid of it. And the simple reason is nothing to do with the box. It's not even to do with the fact it's G1 Soundwave. I mean, who doesn't friggin' love Soundwave? It's the fact that it's the first one that my wife ever bought me. And I just couldn't get rid of it. So this will probably, when I'm on my deathbed and I'm like giving all whatever shit I've got left to my grandchildren, this will be the one that I say, no. This one's coming with me. Stick it in the coffin. It's coming with me.
And at that moment, he finally opened it, and that's what did it.
Yeah, that's what kills me. Oh my God, it really is shit.
Oh, it's so terrible.
I should have just sold it. But it just means a lot to me because of that, really. It's, I mean, I've had loads of crap Transformers, but I still don't get rid of them. I mean, let's be brutally honest. If we're completely honest, as much as we have the nostalgic love for so many G1 toys, some of them are a bit crap. When you look back at it, but they were our toys, and back in the day, they didn't seem crap. We loved them. If anything, we then grow that extra appreciation for them. It's like Pretenders. At the time, they were probably considered a bit crap, and now, if somebody said to me, "Oh yeah, do you want to buy this G1?" Yes, give it here now. How much money do you want? It'd be straight away. Here, take the car keys. That'll do.
50 Shades of Randy.
And you know what? In 25 years, your grandkids are gonna look at that and go, "Your boxes had plastic on them."
Yeah, you use petrol and oil to coat your trend.
Do you know how many dolphins we had to kill just to ensure that we could have this?
Just a quick one. I need to give a shout out to. I need to give a shout out to someone called Lisa. So. Lisa, thank you so much for not my wife, different Lisa.
I was just going to say, she's your wife, isn't she?
This is how I communicate to her. Lisa, I'd love a tea. If you give me cheese on toast, that would be great. No, different Lisa. Andrew, who's C4 Dark main, my favourite person in the world, has said, can we give her a shout? So, of course, we can. Andrew, I would do anything for you. And that's shout out.
Thanks. Oh, you're talking about the other one.
No, the one that Andrew I like. The one who's...
Should be used to this by now.
Your face. Right.
Action Masters, that's the other thing. Action Masters, how crap were they?
Is that a discussion? You just decided.
Well, no, I just mean because we're talking about crap Transformers. Yeah, that could be a discussion. But at the time,
do you know what? I loved
Did you have
Blaster.
Any?
Blaster. I had Megatron in his tank.
I think I only had Mainframe.
My brothers
Prime,
had one.
I
never had
Optimus Prime.
I just remember getting it out of the packet. And obviously, I kind of knew it didn't transform because I wasn't blind and I could read the packaging. But even then, getting it out, and I just remember thinking,
I don't think they're crap.
Oh, well, you're just going to have to stay in robot mode then. Just be a robot.
Forever.
Yeah.
I always used to love it on the playground and stuff like that where, you would... because your imagination was the best. It's it doesn't matter that it doesn't transform. It will for me.
Knock my legs off.
And then with Blaster, you kind of could. I remember.
Yeah, Blaster,
you could arms up, his legs up backwards.
Then his head
you
round.
kind of make it look like a tape deck.
Yeah.
Starscream fucked.
With Optimus Prime, because Optimus Prime came with a giant truck, it was just kind of transform. There we go.
The truck, yeah. Which is funny because that's kind of how Jamie does all his transformations now. Just buys 2 of everything. Transform. There we go.
Exactly.
I really enjoyed that. Nay, the Scottish.
Yeah. What?
Anyway,
is it? Does anybody remember that? You've just said something there, and it's just was there a period I think maybe probably in the late 2000s, the noughties, where Transformers TV adverts would have to explain to people you had to transform it yourself, because you would see the robot mode or the vehicle mode, and then it would just turn into, and it would just be you need to transform this yourself. It doesn't actually do this. And you're yes, I probably would have guessed that it doesn't spontaneously transform from a jet into a
they knew what we were heading for, though, and I think that's the thing now, isn't it? I mean, they make the Transformers simpler and simpler for younger children now. But even What age would we have been when we were actually transforming figures? You know, like 6,
14,
7 years
15.
old, and you
probably
could
been
transform
3.
a Transformer.
Yeah.
31 for Paul, but you know, it's.
That's always been its thing, though, hasn't it? That's it. It's a puzzle, you know, just as much as it is an action figure.
That's it.
Yes, indeed.
Discussion
right.
time?
What was the discussion?
So the discussion was a response to Bordersdude and his most recent video, John Grieve, and it was you had to pick from this year, I think it was, your most disappointing pickup, your most surprising pickup, and the pickup that you really loved.
Okay.
So one of each.
We now return to the Transformers.
So, Andy, what was your most disappointing pickup?
My most disappointing pickup this year, because I haven't actually had that many disappointing pickups this year, but mine isn't a Transformer. I'm going to go with the Masters of the Universe Revelation He-Man figure.
Okay.
Because I just think of all the ones I picked up, it's the weakest. Which is not to say it's a terrible figure, but it's just the weakest of...
Just has a really long stomach, doesn't it?
It does, and yeah, there's something like about, I don't know if you can see from the side there, that his head's almost like a bit too far forward, and when I mess around trying to kind of get it to pose, then he ends up looking like he's leaning back all the time, and it's just, you know, I compare that to some of the other ones that I got, like, my personal favourite's Scare Glow. I just think that's a great figure. I mean, if you only got one, I'd say get Scare Glow. But yeah, it just... You know, a bit like the cartoon for many people, it just wasn't quite what they were expecting. So yeah, He-Man. For the most surprising, I had a real think about this because there was a few things I could have picked, but what I've gone with is what I showed the other week, the gift that I got from the lovely Bumble Jumper 82.
We're still doing disappointing pickup.
This is the surprising one I'm doing now. I've done the disappointing. The He-Man was the disappointing.
We're going to all do disappointing.
Oh, sorry, are we? Oh, well, then shut up.
You absolute random. So I will go with my most disappointing pickup of the year. It's definitely Huffer from fucking Earthrise.
Was that this year? I thought Huffer was last year.
Yeah, it's this year. Definitely.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'll let you off then.
Huffer, oh my god, I had such a...
Is this just the fist, though?
No, it's the whole alt mode is worse than a robot.
I'm just looking at Dave, just listening to this. It's all right, he's allowed to be wrong. But you really didn't like it, did you?
No, I didn't. Really, and do you know what's worse is that the robot mode is sublime. And that's what you get in. You get in the best modes. You pick it up and go... Oh my god, this is my Huffer. This fucking trumps any third party stuff. It's just an amazing Huffer. And then you transform it and something's wrong. And these fists, they're sticking out and the wheels don't line up and it's just no. So disappointing. Almost quit Transformers. Almost quit my job, to be fair. Almost handed my notice in.
Just left the country. Went to the wilderness for a while.
I think it's when you like certain things.
It was 2021, but I don't think Paul picked it up till start of this year, wasn't it?
It was the start of this year. Certain things just upset you. And Ape Face, one of my favourite characters, G1. Love the G1 toy. So Hasbro ruined that. Huffer was one of my favourite toys. One of my favourite G1 characters, and Hasbro ruined that. So that was it. So that made me cry. David, your most disappointing pickup this year?
Yeah, this was really hard because I was...
Welcome to the discussion, Alexis.
Yeah. Right. Well, thanks very much for having us on, chaps.
We'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Been fun. Sorry, go on.
No, I was really struggling because I just haven't picked up that much stuff, and I don't buy He-Man toys because I know better. But I think the one that probably is the most disappointing was Jackpot. Just the reason I bought him was because, ironically, Andy, just as you mentioned it, I had the Action Master. And
there you go.
I always liked the character. I like the idea of this sort of gambling sort of, guy. But yeah, the head doesn't sit well on the robot mode. The colors are just a bit bland. It's a great mold because it's the Jazz. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something.
I think Jamie said the same thing, just a bit.
I think, like...
Oh, and the
had
other
some
thing
issues
as well,
with the head.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you can see it or not, but, like, the head hasn't been, like... I don't know where my camera is, actually, so hold on. Like, the head clearly hasn't been glued together properly, so, like, one half of the head is bigger than the other.
Higher. Yeah.
Slightly higher, and it as you can see, like there's just so much clearance on the neck joint and stuff. It's a shame. Like I bought it on a whim purely, as I say, because I had Jackpot as a kid. But yeah, just a little disappointing, really. In a period of a couple of years where everything has been so stellar.
Yeah.
It can be the little things like how the head sits on a figure that determines whether or not you consider it to be good or not. And I think at that point we have to be grateful for the fact that that is the biggest issue that I'm finding.
Definitely. Alexis, do you have a disappointing pickup from this year that you can show off?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you don't have to. I'm sorry. How rude of me.
But most of them I've sold, to be honest. Like, Andy, you're on the big screen. Do you want to go first?
No, I don't know why I'm on the big screen. I'm just
you're pretty, so
yeah, it's the beard. Well, I've done mine. I've done my disappointment.
Oh,
in fact, we all have. So we're just going around and doing each one. So we're on the disappointing figure.
Oh.
It doesn't have to be a Transformer. Could be something else.
I mean,
It could be like a life choice.
To be honest, like my I always say you get what you pay for, right? And I guess
you do always say it.
I do say it like scales in the eye of
the beholder.
Right.
You know it.
Yeah, that's it. Shoes on the other
foot.
Bird
in the hand is worth two in the.
No, he's getting dirty now.
No.
So I'm looking up my I've got two. So these Bumblebee bots here, right? These ones here, what are they called? The
DLX ones. Yeah.
And
you've got two.
That's your most disappointing pickup.
No, not at all.
So why are you showing them?
Because the sound wave is so like the way that.
Right, okay.
And I said you get what you pay for it. It's because I'm trying to sell it at the same time. So I don't want to say too much about it.
Not too crap.
No, it's not that crap, right? But it's like okay, DLX, right? The Soundwave figure is like 220 quid, right? The DLX figure is 100 quid. 130 list, 100 for me. That's difference. So it's like things like the kneecap, right? And when you go in knee bend in the robot mode on the non-DLX figure, his kneecap pops off and it folds over. It's like
okay. Well, I get that. So that's great. So that's your figure you chose.
No, it's really shit. It's really.
I know, that's why I chose it.
The next round.
It's disappointing.
And like it's little things like that.
No, we don't disagree. We all agree with you.
Okay. So
right, Andy, next round.
No. But what I'm trying to say is but the DLX figure. I didn't realize how good it was. Like when you do that.
Now you say it's really good.
The knee falls behind, the piston goes behind. Going.
Yeah.
I
know.
Whoa. I was like, ooh.
Right. So shall we go back to the next round? Andy, to your son.
It's not disappointing. It's surprising.
Sorry. How many rounds are there?
3. We'll name each one before we start, and you can go last each time. So
you can go after Andy each time.
That was the first round. I got no time at all.
Oh, you had
no offense,
too much
mate,
time. If anything,
you could have at least paused the show for 15 minutes while I organise myself. Pause the live stream, make people wait.
Right, so a pickup that surprised you, Andy. Go for it.
Yes, this will be a total shock to everybody, but the pickup that surprised me was from the lovely Bumbledumper 82, and it was the one he gifted to me, which was the Armada Thundercracker / Starscream, depending on which version you want to believe. Released in the West as Thundercracker, but obviously in the cartoon, it's Starscream in different colours. And it just because it was a really nice gift. It was a surprise, and I just love this mold. I don't know why. I know you turn it that way, you kind of go, but looking face onto it, it's like when this is one of my pet hates. I'm going to get it out there now. When people moan about the back of a bot, like what the bot looks like from behind. Who frigging poses their bots that way round on the shelves? Nobody.
That's it.
So who gives a crap what it looks like from behind?
Baby got bot. Baby got bot.
Baby has got bot. Yes, I couldn't agree more. Well done.
I think the only time where
I cannot lie. You other brothers out there now. When the bot
we're not disappointed. C for Darkmane. This is the surprise. I was surprised. Seriously, come on, lads. Put the drink down for a minute. Get a coffee. Alexis, you too. Anyway, yes.
Go for it.
No, in no way was I disappointed by this. I just think it's beautiful. And I still think I have that thing where I look at it and I love the colours. But when I see it on here, I don't know why, but the colours look even cooler. That, kind of
they do.
Hot pinky red. Oh, I love it. I freaking love it. So thank you very much, Ed. It was really kind of you to send me that. And not just because to pick one up on eBay is usually about 40 quid. So thank you very much. I really do it.
It's awesome. I don't mind going next. Now, the bot which impressed me, I don't have him with me. I probably have the box actually, it's just here. Is Transform Elements Optimus Prime. Now, what a boy is this guy. He's literally, I don't think he beats Earthrise Prime or Netflix Prime, because that is probably my favourite Prime. But just look at that. He's the ultimate masterpiece Optimus Prime. Just looks amazing in both modes. Sublime. Earthrise Prime is probably the best Prime, I would say. Transform Elements Prime is my most impressive Prime.
Just realised
surprisingly.
Did you realise that he's got limited articulation though?
And yeah, that's it. Right, who's next?
Dynamic poses. What about dynamic poses though? You can't pose them though.
No, he's 10. Dave, a surprising Transformer.
It was a weird one, this one, because I was going backwards and forwards with, is it my favorite toy of the year or is it my most surprising? And I ultimately chose to go with surprising, and I've gone for Blaster, purely because I thought you knew what to expect with this guy. Like, his legs would fold up, his head would fall down, and that would be it. He would transform and transform back, and that would be it. But I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Yes, it's slightly more complicated and things like that. But he has his gimmick, which I can't clearly get to work now. I don't know what's going on because you're on camera, obviously. I can't get it. There we go. He does all of that, but I don't know. I think it might just be this weird thing in my head, which is like, we've got a scaled Blaster finally for once in our entire lives.
Is he scaled? He
is with the Generations type figures.
Now, again, is he? I was told he was quite large.
Well, yeah, but Blaster is a big boy.
Yeah,
I was told he's larger than Soundwave and larger than Perceptor and almost the same size as an Ultra Magnus. Is that true?
He's larger than the Siege.
Who told you that? Arify said he'd done a whole video.
Well,
on it yesterday.
photographs told me.
I've always thought that he should be the same size as Optimus Prime.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's always
and he is a generation scale.
And he is, yeah. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, the only reason that I think that blaster should be the same size as Optimus Prime is because of Dr. Smooth's Return of Optimus Prime video, which has canonized the idea that Blaster and Optimus Prime are just the best of friends.
I'm not trying to belittle it, but I'm sure that Blaster is a lot bigger than most of the. He's a bit too big. Is he not too big though? Is he?
Well,
is he not too big?
Like if you compare like Generation 1 Blaster to Generation 1 Soundwave,
okay,
you know, like
we're not comparing though, but he's a lovely Blaster, but Hasbro made him too big.
Anyway, shall we move on?
Right, who hasn't to go yet?
Alexis.
Part that surprised you, Alexis, without looking around, just grab it.
I got him. I'm gonna put my lights on. I'm gonna put my lights on. Lights on. Lights on.
Singing about putting his lights on.
Hey, lights on. This guy here. This is the 3DX 3-0 Prime, because this thing was fucking amazing. I didn't realize how good this thing was until I got it. It's just it's hard to see in this, right?
Wait, he looks impressive.
When you see him in real life, he's got like a proper he's got teapot. He does teapot with his chest.
What we all were asking for.
When you do the whole like these things with his legs.
Oh, I want to play Battlefront.
And like if you look at the way his leg actually crunches, it doesn't just crunch; it crunches in certain ways that allows him to actually pose.
So what surprised you about that?
Because I've had the cheap versions of him, like Toy World, so that. I think Toy World's not cheaper. Toy is the same price, but Toy World transforms. This thing is
like the Matrix just got you.
Yeah, we think he just into the Matrix.
This is a limited character. He has a little thing of peg off the back, so you can take his arse cheek out, which fell out, and that allows you to actually put him on a stand and make motion pictures. I want to do some pictures of him. You know, like having us. You know, having us.
Are they the talkies?
He does actually have eyes that lights up. You push this button here. It lights up, but it hasn't got batteries in.
What did I say?
You know how, like,
wait. Stop. Wait. Jermaine Ivy's commented, Jezatron, who I've always loved his channel.
Yeah, it's nice to have you here, Jermaine.
Yeah, no, thank you for commenting. He's someone I've watched for years. It's weird.
Another TFN regular.
Sorry about Jez. Sorry?
Isn't he another TFN regular as well, Jermaine? I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure I've seen him there before, even though I
Put
don't
your
know
Optimus
him,
Prime down, Alexis.
But that was one that surprised you then. Was it his articulation that surprised you, Alexis?
It was.
He does look like he's doing jazz hands there.
No, it wasn't just the articulation. It was the paint actually has a shimmer in a certain way. If you look at the paint compared to if I get the MPM Prime, which is what they call the masking Prime. Sorry, no stretch. Look at this, right? Look at the paint on that. Like, look at the shimmer on it's a dark red, the dark dull red.
What's the last?
How it shimmers.
What's the last one?
Plus apparently this thing. Apparently it goes.
What's the last one?
He goes all. Look at this. He goes all over.
The last thing we were doing. Sorry, we got the last one. Right, last one. So that's what you loved. What you loved.
Ninja.
What you loved from this year. Okay. Who was to kick off?
We all have lives to get back to eventually.
Yeah.
So I'll go really quick.
Sorry.
I'm not gonna like. I had this thought in my head. I'll show photos. Nah, I'm not bothering with that because it's nearly Sunday. So instead, I'll just show a couple of them. It's got to be the Predacon reissue set that I got. I still love this thing, and it sounds really sad, and I know it is really sad. Surely it's not just me. The amount of times that I just look at them on my shelf, I just literally stand there looking at them and go, "Wow, they're really good." I can't believe that it took me to the age of 42 to actually own a G1 Predacon set, and and my new favorite of them all is of course Rampage, as I've mentioned many times before already on this show, so I won't go on about it. But they're just a fantastic set, and I got them for a really good price, and I love them even with all their faults. I love them, and they're not in Predaking of note, obviously, because I wouldn't be able to hold two of them here at the freaking time. But But yeah, he looks great as Predaking. I like the individual bots. I've said before, I prefer him to the Power of the Primes one. Yeah, that's such a nostalgia hit. Getting these out of the box set and everything. Just awesome bots. They make my brain do a happy, and I love them. And that's really it. Really, that's the whole point. You got to love them.
Brain happy. Brain happy is good.
Who doesn't love brain happy?
Brain is great. No, great. There's also I think this is TF UK Con. Ooh, if you haven't got us this, it fits inside your absolute Kingdom.
Blaster, doesn't it? And the Siege, Soundwave, and the Netflix.
They've only released about 20 of them, so cray. Here's a giraffe.
30 of them.
So my favourite pickup, it's these. I won't lie, it's not a Transformer. So far this year, these 4, and
whoa! What did you just say? They're not a Transformer?
These aren't. These don't transform.
New information.
You cannot transform.
Incredible.
I bought 16 of them, and they are fucking immense. And I love waking up every day, looking at my wife and looking at them the other side, and looking back to my wife. And I look back to them.
Be honest, you look past your wife.
One of them looks less cross, and it's the ones in a world of darkness. But they're so. You can interchange everything. So there's heads. You can have human heads and stuff. They have been my favourite pickup. Joy Toy stuff is going to go absolutely nuclear. It's just it will. It just will. It's so detailed. But his name's not Blowjob Mouth.
Pretty sure it is.
What?
Oh
God. Anyway, is it?
So that was
Dave,
my favourite pickup.
Next?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Just considering your life choices.
So I was this is the only non-modern Transformer that I've bought this year, and the only reason that I bought him was because I used to own this toy several years ago, and then due to a terrible accident moving some Transformers around, I broke mine, and I'd been thinking to myself for ages, I was like, I need to replace it. But, just things got in the way. And then we saw the reveal of Kingdom Tarantulas, or the new Tarantulas figure, and I was like, I need to get it. And so I did, and it arrived, and it's in beautiful condition, but it's the Transmetal Tarantulas.
Oh, do you know I've got that? How random is that? It's amongst a load of random bots that my lad bought at a car boot sale once, and there was one of them. I don't think it's complete, but it's definitely that figure.
Did it just
happen, Andy?
I'm not sure how to answer that question, so I'm gonna hand it back to Dave for his comments.
Yes, just a glorious figure. The colors just pop. This one's really good in the fact that all of the what do you call it?
The chromey kind of
the
metallic
chromey
paintwork.
All of that stuff is pristine, which is really, really nice. And who can't get behind Tarantulas, because he's just so creepy as a character. I just love him. And not only that as well, but scale wise works perfectly with your Kingdom figures.
Nice.
And I was really surprised by that. I'm really surprised, given that we're almost 30 years into Beast Wars.
Sorry, Dave. Is that the original Translas?
No, that's the Transmetal 2. No, yeah, it's the original one, but it's the Transmetal 2 version of Tarantulas, yeah. But what I'm really surprised by is just how many of those original Beast Wars figures can just slot into your modern figures, especially the later run ones. And the
Friggin' 30s ones as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I picked up a Friggin' 30s Waspinator this week for £10.
That's a good figure. I would not recommend anybody buy the Cheetah or the Dinobot, but the Waspinator was definitely a good figure. That and I think the Thrilling 30s Rhinox.
Yeah.
I think that Rhinox is still better than the Kingdom one, but you know,
the differences, but I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
you were a big fan of that, weren't you, Paul? The Thrilling 30 Rhinox.
Oh yeah, I can't see how they improved upon that. I'll go from toy.
I don't think it did personally, but I mean, I'm not an expert on them. So
better than the Ace Ventura Rhinox. So
yeah, so it's it's great.
Oh, the brothers Grimsby.
And now that the Metroplex Titan has revealed the fact that Inferno is probably going to be coming out, great, because that's the last of the season 1 Beast Wars cast, and that's probably where Hasbro will decide not to make any more Beast Wars toys, but it is what it is.
Hasbro, what are they like? Right, has everyone been there?
I haven't been yet.
Cool. So that's it for tonight.
What was it? It was...
what was it?
You don't know what it was? Your 6 most favourite Mexican knockoffs.
Your 6 most favourite burritos.
I did have an answer. What was the question again?
Your favourite pickup from this year, the one you loved the most.
Oh.
Just one.
Right, there's one thing that people have requested a lot in the chat, and we're going to have to play it before we go to bed. So,
why don't you play it, and I'll work out what my favourite pickup is.
Yeah, we'll definitely
That's a good idea.
So, thank you so much for watching tonight, David. Thank you so much for coming on again.
More than welcome.
Dave. Absolutely,
it's a good job you did as well, because he would have just seen
the Thanks for taking up for 10 minutes, Nexus. But I do love you. You are my favourite person. Right, so this has been asked for and requested, and people are texting me for this. So we'll finish the show on this. You don't know what it is. I haven't said what it is.
Oh, I know what it is.
You know what it is. Here we go. Let's do it. Good night. Thanks for watching. Here's something sexy.
Can you stop this time? The last one is going to stop it though. It happened last time. You stop it now. Barrel Barrel Down. Barry's got to be down. Down. I'm holding on for a hero till the morning light. It's gotta be so.
are you there? That was wonderful, but also far too long.
Oh, so emotional.
I know. I can see Dave's feeling emotional already. He's thinking, "Why did I do this again?"
That was amazing. Right, that is it. For the
You're
show.
right, mate.
Thank you so much for joining.
Sorry about that.
See you next week.